My name is Jessica. I have been with EFC for 4 years, just over 4 years, and I have been on the best journey as far as my body in those 4 years. I found experience through work, actually. It was a wellness event that we had, and I seen the table and I inquired because at that time I was getting headaches every single day. In the afternoon, it was like clockwork. And so I went to get some information to see if there was anything that they could do. And of course, at the time, I just figured they were a normal chiropractor, the whole cracking and popping. And so after they gave me the information, I'm like, okay, well, I literally just found out I'm pregnant. I'm 8 weeks. And then that started a whole nother conversation. And I learned about the maternity and what that can do for me during my whole journey there. And now, in those 4 years, I had 3 babies and have been under care. I saw Dr. Omar for the first 2, and then now Dr. Andrew for this 3rd one. And both have been amazing. And my pregnancies were perfect, as perfect as they can be, and I had healthy babies. So after I got all that information, I decided to go in, and within a couple weeks, my body started holding with everything that they were doing, and my headaches were gone. Even during pregnancy, when your hormones and everything seems to go a little bit different, and everybody warned me your body's going to take a toll, and fortunately I didn't have any issues. The headaches were gone, and then the pregnancy was awesome. They are so thorough with what they do. They care. They want to know how you're feeling, how your doctor visits are going, do you have any questions that maybe we're not comfortable asking doctors, because sometimes it's an in and out appointment. Experience is very, very caring in that aspect, and want to make sure that we're getting the right care and that they're helping in any way that they can. My second one was breached. He decided to turn back around just before having the baby. And Dr. Omar had me here on the weekends doing exercises, trying to get him to flick back the other way as, simply as we can. So with my children, I think it's very important to bring them in after they were born. I think it was about a 2-week period. And then I scheduled to have them come in and get checked, just to make sure that everything is lined up right. And with this one, I noticed that he was kind of leaning toward the left with his head. Every time he would lay down, he would always go to his left. And so I mentioned that to Dr. Andrew, and sure enough, there were 2 things that he had to adjust. And we got home that day, and sure enough, I took a picture and sent it to my husband and said, look, he's looking to the right, he's looking to the right. We bring them in during the big milestones, especially within the first year, as they're learning to crawl, as they're teething, as they are learning to walk. It's important to make sure that everything's in line. All 3 of my kids actually have a dairy intolerance, so that helps to kind of make sure that everything's in line, so that's not making them colicky or anything to make them uncomfortable. So that's helped a lot. I remember my most embarrassing moment out in public to date, and I'm sure it will not be my last. My second was in a couple months ago, and he was a late teether. So he had only had like 4 teeth, I think, and he was about 18 months old. All of a sudden, he was getting all of his teeth, his molars, as well as his front 4. And next thing you know, he is screaming in the waiting room. And I'm like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. So they call me back, and they're like, oh, he's very fussy today. And I'm like, yeah, he's popping all of his teeth at once. And sure enough, Dr. Andrew was able to adjust him, and immediately, before Dr. Andrew even put his hands away from the baby, all of a sudden he stopped crying. It was magic. And it made me feel a little bit better because, of course, he's, screaming so the whole office can hear. So you can see the impacts almost immediately in most cases, whether you're being adjusted with the baby and my round ligaments. The moment I walk out the door, I feel that extra space. The baby was kicking and stretching in the belly to when they come out, and having them adjusted during something as tragic as teething for them. It definitely helps soothe and make sure that everything's functioning, giving them the best possible life that they can at this little age. I love EFC. The moment you walk in the door, you're always greeted with friendly faces. They're always asking, how's your day? How are you doing? They're familiar faces, so that makes it easier too. I know sometimes doctors can go with different, the turnover rate's pretty high, but they have amazing staff who's been with them, and they all care. They all love seeing the little babies, so that makes them happy. They're very family oriented, so if I do have to bring my children here after work because we're running late and we're on our way home and I have to stop, I don't feel guilty bringing my children with me. They understand, they encourage and welcome. My kids love coming here. They know what chiropractor is, and the little one's only 3.5, so it's a big deal. They are wonderful to work with as far as my well-being, my family's well-being. My husband has even been here for his back issues, and so it's been phenomenal. And the people here at EFC are absolutely amazing.